Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. It's Candy here to film the June happies. How can it be June? How can I have done now 12 months of these happy videos? Time flies. June, it's been a busy month. It is coming up to the end of the school year for us in the UK. Big transitions here, and yeah, it's just been a really busy time. The garden, I've been super busy. It's a really busy time for gardeners, getting all the final seedlings that I grew from seed, the plants that I've grown from seed out in the garden, sunflowers planted out, garden maintenance as well. It's such a lot of work. So I've been super busy out there. The screen, pull down cinema screen for the hot tub area came, which I installed. We've had, amidst a rainy June, one late night in the hot tub where we watched the film Up, and it was just gorgeous to be sat out there in the hot tub with all the birds settling down around us and the sun going down, and to watch a movie. Then we also watched this month How to Train Your Dragon. Again, we used the DVD projector, but because it was so wet outside, this time we watched it in my little boy's bedroom. He's got a very wide window with a very dark blackout blind that you pulled down. So we pulled that down, put the DVD projector on his desk and projected it, and it was like having our own cinema room. It was amazing to do. So those are two films that I've watched this month. I loved them both. I need to get the rest of them for this film now because I found out there's more, but both films were marvellous. Also in the garden, I've been trying to connect with Letha energy because of course it was Midsummer's Day. It was very wet again. Normally I'd light a fire. We didn't have a fire this year, but I walked around the garden thinking, how do I connect with Letha energy? And I did a video for that, which I really enjoyed making. Also my Letha altar indoors, that was really fun to make. And I started a Wheel of the Year tarot tag, which the lovely Sandra over at the Whispering Well joined in with. So thank you, Sandra. I thought I was going to be Billy No Mates with it, but you came and joined in, so that was lovely. So the Letha edition of that tag was done. This month I'm going to film with a little bit more notice for everybody the next Wheel of the Year tag video for the next Sabbath, and hopefully people will join in. It was really fun to do. It's just nice to look at my collection and then to look at what each Sabbath means and keywords, and to try and link the Wheel of the Year to my tarot collection. So it's really useful for me. It kind of solidifies in my head what each celebration throughout the year means to me when I link it to my tarot decks. So I started a new tag, an ongoing tag in June, which was fun. I also did a couple of tags which are fun. I did some tags for Nancy over at Paper Moon Tarot. I did her cinema tag, which was really fun, and I'm sure I did a second one, and for the life of me I can't think what it was. Nope, it's gone. And of course in the UK the government have just announced on the 19th of July, so coming up really soon, in less than 2 weeks, they're lifting the restrictions for the lockdown that we've been in. Slightly disconcerted with that because of course numbers are still fluctuating. They were on the rise again with new variants, but basically the government have said they're going to leave it down to people's personal discretion, and I'm not quite sure what that's going to mean for us all. I think because I'm fully vaccinated now, I would have met that with more joy, apart from the fact that I've still got a very vulnerable 15-year-old in the house, Tilly, who is immune compromised and who is too young for any vaccines. So I don't think personally for us it's going to change anything much, but there is light at the end of the tunnel and places are beginning to open. So I did my charity shop haul, which is the first time I'd been shopping to charity shops for a year and a half. Tilly then wanted to spend some of her pocket money at the charity shop. So we went up on a quiet Saturday morning and she had a little look around. And while I was there, I discovered this beauty for £1. Now, I've been looking for a while for a white horse because the white horse is really important to me as a symbol of freedom and strength and personal power. It's linked to the Morrigan through the stories of Macca, who she was linked to horses. She's thought of as either a sister to the Morrigan or as a embodiment of the Morrigan, but just in a different form. Her stories are interwoven. She's very linked to horse racing, and her myths include her racing against horses, and she had a white horse herself. Now, when I had an energy healing chakra session, I was told that the white horse was being given to me from the underworld as a sign and a breaking of contracts and a sign for moving forward. And at first I was really sad that the Morrigan hadn't appeared in the underworld. I would have thought the Morrigan would have been there. And then I realised it was Macca. So the white horse for me is really important for a number of reasons. I'd been looking for something like this for a while, and there she was for £1, sat on the charity shop shelf. So that was really fun in June. Books I've been reading. Now, reading is, I keep forgetting to read, which for me is really unusual, and I'm just getting distracted by everyday jobs. I think at the moment my energy feels quite low at the moment. I don't know whether it's translating across screen. I expect it probably is. I think there's just a lot going on. I'm quite tired at the moment, and it's end of school year. There's a big transition time for us all. It's the last few days of my youngest being in primary school, so there's lots of transition aspects going on and end of school stuff at 3 school settings, and trying to do transitions without schools properly being open to do it's quite tricky. So that all said, I think I've just been really tired and I've just been collapsing in bed at night rather than reading, and early mornings just drinking coffee instead of reading, which is when I would normally read. So I have read a couple of books. Now, I ordered this book, which is Ray Beth's Hedge Witch, which is an absolute classic. Now, I ordered it because I am beginning to recognise what my witchcraft path is. It's definitely green witchery, garden witchery. It's definitely linked to Genius Loci and the spirit of place and plants and trees. So I did order this book thinking it would describe what being a hedge witch is, and it is, but it isn't really that. Basically what this book is, it's a series of letters that she is writing to 2 new witches, new on their path, with basically explaining all the basics. She explains in each individual letter what all the sabbats on the wheel of the year. She talks about trance work and how to do different trances and why we do trance work. She talks about masculine divine energy and female divine energy and whether deities are really real or not. She talks about the idea of trance work and etheric energy and restoring yourself after trance, initiations to be into witchcraft. She talks about what imagination is in regards to trance work, which I just thought was fascinating, and like astral realities. It's just fantastic, and links, I think, to some of my trauma work to do with the felt sense. So the book is actually a series of letters. She decided to publish them as a book because she decided that the information she'd given in the letters to her 2 friends would just be useful as a book, and she's not wrong. It's basic stuff, but it's basic stuff that you can almost miss because it's so basic. It's like you can't see the forest for the trees. This is helping you to see the trees. I absolutely loved it. It's called Hedge Witch because it's a guide for the solitary witch, which of course the hedge witch was and is. So somebody working not within a coven. She provides ritual words and spells and ideas for trance work in there, so it's a practical book as well. I really loved it. I thought it was fantastic. Next book that I read is a Pagan Portals book on the Dagda. Now, the Dagda has been my step into the divine masculine, which for me wasn't an easy step to take, and I am going to talk about that in a separate video. But the Dagda opened up a doorway for me that I wanted to step through. I'd been reluctant, very reluctant for loads of reasons, to even accept the divine masculine, let alone welcome it in. So this year I'd done a big study book about the Morrigan. Fantastic. Morpheus Ravenna's book, The Book of the Great Queen. It's absolutely fantastic. You can see it was a big study for me this year. From that I went on to study Bridget a little bit more, who the Morrigan brought into my practice, to understand the link between the two, and studying those books together and writing notes in here. The third piece of the puzzle, the missing piece that I was missing, was the divine masculine, and these two goddesses brought the Dagda in, and the picture just began to make real sense to me. There aren't books written on the Dagda like there are on the goddesses. This was the first one I found. This did really help clarify why the Dagda is important, why the Dagda was brought forward in my practice. It was a really important read for me, as were all of these three books. Now, just to find a easy way to share what I found in this, so I can share it. I'd love to be able to share it. So the other book that I read was the guidebook, that goes with the Carnival at the End of the World Tarot, which has been my main tarot deck for June. It was just amazing. It was gifted to me by a friend. The guidebook is fantastic. If you are going to get this deck, the guidebook is sold separately. Get the guidebook. I have had a few people in my comments say, oh my goodness, we got the deck, we couldn't work with it, didn't realise there was a book, I'm getting the book. I do think you need the book, and the book is worth it. The book in places looks sparse, but it is beautifully written. It does open up the imagery in the deck, and it turns the deck into such a spectacular deck to work with. And then other tarot books I have been working with. I have been working through Tarot 101, which again is another classic. This is by Kim Huggins. This and this book were my first ever tarot books. I'm just going back to basics with everything. I am doing the exercises in this, which takes a while. I am just going over all basics again, just another second loop round with all the basics, just because. And then Ethne's book, Your Tarot Court, I've started working with this as well. This is fantastic. The Page of Pentacles with this book I've had some moments with that this month. It's been a stalker card, but both of those two books, they're ongoing, and that's my tarot study this month. And now we come to the decks, and of course the whole month of June was taken up with this beauty. On my video talking about this deck, I did say that I was meeting a soul deck. I do stand by that. I think this deck is amazing to work with. The cardstock is just beautiful. It's like having butter in your hands. I just love it. I love everything about this deck. Like I said, the guidebook is like sheer poetry, but it is so insightful for messages when you work with this deck. I love the fact that it's got all these extra cards in the deck. It's got completely additional suit of cards, which I think is fantastic. And I love it. I will link the walkthrough I did of it. I think it was probably one of my most intense walkthrough reviews to film, and I was thrilled that the creators contacted me as well and left comments on here, which was just so exciting to see. So that meant a lot. And on Instagram I had messages, so that really meant a lot. But this deck this month has been amazing. This is the Carnival at the End of the World. It paired absolutely beautifully with my favourite oracle, which is the Iris Oracle. I work with this oracle virtually every day, and again the creator left a comment on my channel about the walkthrough I did of this, so that's been really special this month. This deck I love. I've also this month did a walkthrough of this deck, but the two together have worked beautifully, which is lovely when they're two decks that you completely adore. So again, I got to know this deck by doing a morning single card pull with a single card pull from this. Journal on it, see what it was telling me, and then at the end of the day I did another single card pull from each deck as a reflection card pull to then look back on the day, and it was just wonderful. And then as I went through the month, I decided to check how this deck would pair with other tarot as well. And the one that it sang with the most was the Witch's Wisdom. Now, the Witch's Wisdom again is a real favourite deck of mine. Here are the backs, but it isn't one that I've necessarily been working with a lot, only because I've got a lot of decks now. But when I put these two together, they just sang. So I added in for my morning pull 3 cards, one from each deck, one oracle card and one from each of these tarot decks, and it was fantastic. It really was. Some of the insights that I got throughout the month were just incredible. This is such a firm favourite now for a deck combo. I mean, these two, just amazing. And then without fail, the Iris always clarifies, makes clear, adds in. It's just brilliant. And then also throughout the month, I've been using my Inspired by Frida. It's a tiny little pocket deck by Rockpool. The creator of this one is Akel Pritam. You have images one side of Frida, who is the Queen, and then on the other side you have messages. A lot of these are messages about that link to creativity, because of course it's Frida. You've got things like choose to see creative energy in everything, no matter what, and you will recognize opportunity. Now, I really love this deck. I do actually have 2 of them. So what I've been doing, what I did throughout June, was I would shuffle and wait for a jumper from one deck, and whichever card it was, I would get them out of both decks, the same card, so that I could see not only the image but also the message both out on my little tarot piece of wood that I put my cards on. And I've been using these beautiful swan card holders. Now I've got 4 of these, which one of my best friends, Cheryl, she saw and she ordered them for me. She knows I love swans, a number of things in the house that are swan linked have come from Cheryl. And yeah, she stopped by on the way back from work one day because she only lives down the road, and she said, I've got a present for you. And I've got 4 of these, and they've just been perfect as little tarot card holders, so that's been really special. Online, I took part in Lisa and Peggy's live Peggy's block party. It was really good fun. I had it playing in the background. I didn't know whether I would be able to take part because it was my weekend to have the kids, and I didn't know whether I'd be able to join in. But then my ex changed days and things changed around, and all of a sudden I was free for it, so I managed to get onto the live twice. It was such fun. I'm really looking forward to the next one. So it was just lovely spending time with Lisa and Peggy and everybody else that was on there. So Dustin and Shannon or Michelle popped in. I found some new faces on there as well. It was just really lovely. So that was a highlight. And also Renee over at Meadowlark Mystics, her collages that she has been producing over the last couple of months, she uploaded a video about them. I'd seen her collages in her journals before, but in the last couple of months they've gone to a whole new level. She has she's basically been having conversations with the divine feminine, channeling artwork. You can just feel the power in it. I will link her videos below where she shares them. So she makes the collages, she then scans the collage, and they end up onto different varying wooden plaques, some with crystals as well, as she feels led to do. The plaques, the finished plaques, are so full of power. I think if you're connected with the divine feminine, go and check out the videos. She's also opened an Etsy shop last month. I think it went live. Yeah, it went live in June, which is just full of the most amazing finished artworks. I love Renee anyway. She's amazing. She is such a dear friend of mine, and just to see her channeling this sort of power down through creativity and her art has been just really spectacular to watch. So that has got to be one of my biggest highlights of June. I am just so immensely proud of her. And another channel I discovered, and I think I must be probably one of the only people alive that has never heard of this channel, because it's got millions and millions of subscribers, is Casey Neistat. Never heard of him before. I was watching another channel, they mentioned Casey Neistat. I thought, who? So I put in a search in YouTube, and this channel opened up that's full of the most wondrous filmmaking and character and storytelling. I have been binge watching Casey Neistat all through June. I think his art of storytelling through cinematography is gorgeous. It's made me just fall in love with New York City watching it, and I just think it's such an amazing channel. Not that Casey Neistat needs a shout out from me, let's just make that clear. I'm not saying that, but I thought I would share him in case somebody like me has never heard of him before, because it is a gold mine of storytelling through the art of the vlog. It's absolutely brilliant. I loved it. So Casey Neistat was another big part of my June. Also in the art studio, I've been doing watercolour painting and inkwork drawing. I completed my pink moon painting, which was for my tarot card, the 5 of Cups. There's also a video for that on my channel, which I'll link below. I want to really push the painting in July. I want to have a go at oil painting as well. So the tarot deck is still ongoing, still loving it. And also I used the stretch tarot for the first time, which is tarot deck I forgot to share earlier, but I've been doing some spell spreads with it and it has been amazing with the crystals and other things. Moving forward into July now. Oh, where am I going? I've got to try and escape this funk that I'm in. I don't know what it is. Some weird energy hanging around me for sure. I didn't even know whether I was going to be able to sit down and film this today, but as always, you guys kind of pull me out of myself when I'm getting deeper and deeper into darker energy. So thank you guys for that. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate you spending time here. I appreciating you clicking like and subscribing, and if you haven't yet, then consider it. If you like the content, if you like tarot decks, if you like art or the garden or anything to do with witchcraft, then do consider subscribing. I'd love you to join us here. It's a really nice, kind space, so thank you guys. We're about to go into the summer holidays. The kids break up from school in a week's time. My mama's heart is struggling because it's my last one in primary school. Busby is about to leave primary school forever and it's a huge transition for him. It's also a huge transition for me. I still have little hands holding mine walking into school, and I just know those days are ticking down to an end. And the fact that I'm now crying tells you that that feels really impacting and an exciting new transition. But with every transition there is a goodbye to something, and I have loved my time with little hands walking to school. So there is a slight funk going on here. I need somebody to come and kick me up the backside to get out of it. Looking forward, I have some fantastic new decks that have been sent to me to review. This one is wonderful. There is a video coming. Shannon's been up to her old tricks with Lucy Cavendish and Jasmine Beckett Griffith decks. These have started in July. I've got reviews of some of these decks coming. They're fantastic. Hopefully there'll be some ocean videos coming because I am getting to Wales. Lockdown is lifted, borders are opened. I need to get out of this house. I need to take my tarot outside. That's part of the funk. I think I'm going stir crazy. So hopefully there'll be some Wales videos. There's going to be depth year updates. There's going to hopefully be some more garden work done. There's going to be some talking about Frida because it was Frida's birthday this week. We are talking the Queen Frida. And there's going to be lots of exciting things. Hopefully I'm going to get to share the house project that I've been trying to put together for you guys this month. Fingers crossed. Got lots coming up. I hope you stay around for it. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope your June was awesome. I hope July is going to be even better for you all. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.